Hello, I'm Scotty Animation, and today we're going to do some programming on an Apple IIe computer, which I think looks fantastic. Just want to type on it. Alright, got to turn it on first. And this first program is going to be a basic program that will demonstrate page flipping. And you can do this with just a couple of pokes and some graphic commands. So first I'm going to do the high resolution screen, page 1, and we're going to tell the basic that we want to draw with that, and just do a vertical line on the screen. Next we want to draw on page 2, and we're tell the computer to draw specifically to that page. And we're going to draw a line in the opposite direction. Let's see. And then I'm going to show this address 49236. Show page 1. Set up a timer. Show page 2. Oh. Now, go through 70. Paste it. Page flip. So page flipping is that easy on the Apple IIe in BASIC. This is the most complicated program I've written on an Apple IIe because this is the first time I've had one. I always was curious about these things. Well built, top quality, amazing. Alright, I'm going to hit Control Reset to break out of that and go into the next clip. Now of course we don't need Poke 230 in there really in this particular basic program. The HGR and HGR2 commands, initiate the graphic screen and allows us to draw to it. But that Poke 230, that particular memory location, will allow you to draw to a page off screen while you're displaying the other page. So that is going to come in handy. But like with this program right here, I've taken out the Poke 230 commands, line 20 and line 50. I already marked them out. And when I run it, see, it runs just fine. So, but in later programs, the Poke 230 will be very, very useful because it's very useful to be able to draw off screen something while you're displaying something else. For animation, that is. And other things, right? Oh, that's interesting, you say, but how about something more interesting? Okay, what about a game? This is the beginning of a game. It's not a very complicated game. It's not necessarily a very fun game, but it's a game nonetheless. So, and so far, well, it's not done yet, but I've written the graphic routines that it's going to use. It's not very long yet. So, taking it step by step. Okay, so line 10, that sets us in the high resolution graphics mode, which is, I think, 280 by 192, or 0 to 279 to 0 to 191. Then 20 sets up the X and Y variables as a position for a graphic, and that graphic is an X. And the X is drawn at line 100 through 110. Then line 120 returns from a go sub to that routine. And then line 30 resets the X and Y variables to another position on the screen. It go subs to 125, which draws a circle. And that's a little bit more complicated than the lines. So it requires more code. Line 125 sets up the size of the circle. I could have did radius, but eh. And then 130 sets up for next loop to draw the circle, or all the angles. That feeds into the cosine and sine functions. And it just draws it. So let's run it. Okay. See? X and a circle. Okay. Alright. And then it will eventually, I got a timer, will eventually just get out of that so I don't have to reset it. And now I'm going to implement the game. Alright, so this is what I've got so far. And the only storage device I have is saving it to cassette, but we'll throw the cassette out to my desktop computer, so I hope it works. But anyways, here's what we got so far. Draws the background game screen with an X and an O, and notice how it changes resolution. It also kind of glitches out, going from high resolution to text mode. That's very interesting. Okay, here is the game. It's not very complicated. It's not very fun, but here it is. And it's goes up to line 920. It probably could have been written in less lines, but you know, again, I'm not the greatest programmer in the world, so let's run it. Would you like to play a game? Valid positions are 0, 1, or 2 vertically and horizontally. And the computer moves first. Now it's your move, and if you make a move other than 0, 1, or 2, like say 3, 0, then they'll just ask you to move again. So go to 0, 0, and the computer moves. And then you move again, and you have beaten the computer. Okay, it's a simple tic-tac-toe game. That's it. That's basically my first basic program I've written on an Apple IIe computer. I will put the WAV file on my website if you would like to download the source code, or you could just write your own version from scratch. It's, you know, it's not that complicated of a program. So, but it's just a little fun, you know, fun program, giving a little bit of a hat tip to war games. So alright, this is Scotty Scott Animation. I'll talk to you later. Well, I thought I was done, but I had an idea. Oh, and on the screen here, I could have sworn there was like a built-in machine language monitor or disassembler or something on the Apple IIe. And I thought Wozniak would have like insisted on that. I don't know. Is there a built-in monitor, machine language monitor on this computer? Can somebody tell me in the comments? Possibly. Anyways, I had the idea that, okay, instead of posting the WAV file to my website, I'll just put it on the end of this video. And so, if you hook up your Apple IIe, will this work on the Apple II? I don't know. Alright, let's just say Apple IIe. If you got an Apple IIe, then at the end of this video will be the sound file, or the sound of the tic-tac-toe game I just wrote on this Apple IIe. I love that, you know. Back in the 80s, I remember there was like people talking about that they were going to start, like, you know, radio stations would start transmitting, you know, games and stuff over the air. I don't think that ever happened. However, there were ham radio operators that I knew of that used Commodore 64s to transmit software over the ham radio frequencies. So I thought that was interesting. Alright, guys. Now, be warned that the next sound you hear is going to be loud and annoying, okay? Well, it'll be loud. You've already heard the annoying sound. You're going to hear a real annoying sound here in just a second. Here comes the WAV file of my first Apple IIe basic program. My version of tic-tac-toe and tribute to war games. This is Scotty Animation. I will talk to you later. For more content, you can visit www.scottyaniimation.com. There's a lot more stuff on there.